We are doing a reaction to legendary hip hop artist Juicy J's biography, Chronicles of the Juice Man. This is chapter 8. Don't you get mad. Hit the thumbs up button, guys. I'm going to come back with my reaction.
Chapter 8. Don't You Get Mad. Right before we moved to LA, we were just making music, and there wasn't a lot of cocaine around. Not like there used to be, back in the early and mid 1990s. So I felt like everybody was kind of on the same page. But after the Oscar, man, a lot of shit changed. People just started coming at us. I heard, if you ever need anything, I've got a doctor for you. So many times. Everybody's selling something in LA. I had so many plugs, and I was using them. I had so much syrup, and a whole cabinet full of pills.
Damn,
It was taking a toll on me.
they were drugged out.
In order to go on stage, I had to have these drugs in my body. On the one hand, I was having the time of my life. We were selling out shows and making a lot of money. On the other hand, I was empty. I was a different person now. Paul was too. I had something to do with that. And Paul had something to do with that. We were older, and we were making a lot of money. Crunchy Black was still stuck in the past. He was refusing to use a BlackBerry, even though the Oscars gave us each a free one.
Damn.
I had explained how easy it was to use, and how helpful it was going to be. I told him once he set up an email account, I could just send him the actual tour itinerary. Plus, he could see everything for himself, instead of me having to call him all the time. Crunchy was also used to me calling him, getting him up in the morning. When I told him he'd have to get a BlackBerry, and that someone from either Loud or its parent company, Columbia Records, would email him our itinerary, he didn't want to do that. He wanted me to just call him. I told him no. Crunchy Black was so against using a BlackBerry that he said he was going to have his friend Booger do it for him. Unfortunately, that wasn't the only issue. When 3-6 Mafia went to New York for business, I decided to stay at the Carlyle because I'd gotten a gift card in my Oscar gift bag. Crunchy was staying at a different hotel, and they wanted him to put down a credit card for incidentals. They explained to him that he'd have to put $300 down, $100 for each day of his stay. And once he checked out of the room and everything was good, he'd get his $300 back. He didn't want that. So someone from Columbia Records called me and explained the situation to me. I was furious. The label rep got us on three-way, and I told Crunchy that he must be out of his fucking mind. Crunchy said he wanted me to cover the incidentals for his hotel room and put my card down. But I knew he had $10,000 cash in his pocket. I was livid.
Wow.
I told Crunchy that things had changed, that we were getting bigger, and we had to do things the right way. We had shows, tours, a lot of big things coming up. I wasn't going to be able to come to do everything for him anymore.
Exactly.
Crunchy wasn't trying to hear it, so I hung the phone up on him. I couldn't believe it. Later that day, I saw Crunchy Black at his hotel. He came up to me with tears in his eyes and told me he was going to try to get off the dope, that he was going to get some help. But he was high. I looked him dead in his eyes and told him I couldn't believe anything he was saying. Go sober up, and then we can have a real conversation about how we can help you get off the drugs, I told him. During the trip, I was in the studio. That morning, I'd been calling and texting Crunchy. His phone was off, and I asked around, but no one had seen him. I called over to his hotel, and the doorman said he'd seen him, but that Crunchy had left and was going back to Memphis.
Oh, wow.
He changed his number. That was it. I couldn't believe it.
He quit.
Crunchy Black had left 3-6 Mafia. 3-6 Mafia was down to 2 members, DJ Paul and me. We had just won an Oscar and had a TV show with MTV on the table. Crunchy was set to get a third of the money from our show. We also had tours lined up, and he was going to get a third of that money too, because he'd been a member of 3 6 Mafia. We treated our people right. He was given a great opportunity with more money and more shine. I thought that would have made him happy. Crunchy Black, though, he felt like things were changing. He thought that Paul was abandoning him. They were road dogs. Crunchy took it personally when Paul distanced himself from Crunchy and wouldn't ride to the shows with him anymore. The drug use and our egos were truly taking their toll. Crunchy had been feeling this way for a while, and it was finally too much for him to stomach. I remember thinking it was strange that after we won the Oscar, he just left. He didn't go with us to any parties. The fame had been getting to him. I'd been seeing in his eyes that he was troubled. As the reality kicked in, I was stunned. I was going to miss Crunchy Black's dancing and his flavor. But I remember thinking that we didn't need Crunchy Black, that he was the weakest link of 3 6 Mafia. In interviews, I've seen Crunchy Black say a lot of powerful things about his drug abuse, about how he shouldn't have left the group, about how he should have called DJ Paul and me, about how I was like the godfather for the group. It was nice hearing him explain these things, especially how I wanted him to get off the drugs and how I tried to help him get off drugs. Project Pat was in the studio with me the morning I found out Crunchy Black had left 3 6 Mafia. I told Pat that I wanted him to be in the group. Nah, I can't do that, Project Pat said to me. I was in disbelief. You're about to get a third of our TV money if you're in 3 6 Mafia, I replied. Stop playing. Nah, man, Pat said. I'm good. Pat's mental peace meant more to him than getting a big payday. As I'd done every time someone left the group, I tried to step my rapping up. I was hanging out with Serena Williams' sister, Lindrea. We would make music, and when she'd come by my house, she was always complimenting me on my raps. I was trying out so many different flows and styles. I knew it was just going to be Paul and me on the songs, so I wanted to bring as much energy as possible to the mic. Crunchy Black's issues had been one thing. DJ Paul and I were in different realities too. I had a house in Memphis, chilling on 4 acres of land that I had built from the ground up. But I drove down the street in LA, saw this $2 million house, and I just bought it. I was like, I'm never going back to Memphis. Fuck that house. I also felt safer in Los Angeles than Memphis. At home, I was always looking over my shoulder. Memphis is a dark city, literally and figuratively. It rains, and you have thunderstorms. You never knew who was plotting to get you, to rob you. I didn't want to be in Memphis and get into some situation where I had to kill somebody.
Yeah, Memphis seemed, even before Young Dolph and all that stuff went down, and the whole thing with Yo Gotti and his brother, he got hit. Memphis seemed like, boy, they don't give a. But first of all, it's a open carry state. Like anybody can have a gun. You don't have to have a license or nothing. Ain't no license. Anybody can just have a gun on them, open and carry. So that's one thing, and just it's oof. Yeah, I had a friend wanted me to ask me if I wanted to go to Memphis. I said, man, no, I'm good. You know, even though I know not all of Memphis is bad, but I just like I'm cool. I don't want to go. Shout out to Memphis though, y'all. Hit the thumbs up button.
Every time we had another hit or some success, people would try to test us. Things had gotten to that point.
Wow.
By comparison, life in LA was a breeze. In California, it's sunny and warm almost all the time. I could finally rest and get some sleep. DJ Paul and I were away from all the hate in Memphis, and we were able to indulge in our newfound celebrity. That was all just on the surface, though. In addition to being literally drunk on alcohol and high on drugs, I was drunk on the power I thought I had. Every time I got off stage, I was angry. I told my lawyer anything anyone wanted us to do would cost $250,000 and up. Charge the shit out of people for shows, features, beats, I told him. If the label called, tell them we want more money than whatever they were offering. I was terrible. To make matters worse, our lawyer, Aaron Rosenberg, as amazing as he was too aggressive, even for me. People would tell me how our lawyer was fucking things up for us. But later, when we thought about it, he was really looking out for our best interests. Coming from the South, we may arrive with our guns out, but we'll end up treating you with that Southern hospitality because we're so happy for the opportunity. He'd say, nah, man, fuck that. Yeah, we're happy for the opportunity, but they've got to pay us.
Right.
Aaron kept our price high. Even if I wanted to compromise a bit, he wouldn't let me. But he wasn't being diplomatic. He was cussing people out if they didn't meet our requirements. We ended up parting ways with Aaron because I didn't think he handled one of our deals fast enough. That was a mistake. We should have kept him. Aaron's a beast that doesn't play games and knows how to get money. He ended up representing Justin Bieber, Joss Stone, Kellis, and a bunch of other stars. At the time, though, I felt different. Suddenly, I felt like I could do anything I put my mind to.
That's why they fell off.
But I needed everybody to be on the same page with me, and they weren't, including Aaron. When we did the most known unknown.
Shout out Juicy J though. You know what he had that one hit, that one song he did for he did a couple songs he did for Young Dolph. Juicy J is a very underrated producer, man. Like, he's very underrated. People don't realize how good a producer he is. Like, he's made some dope ass music. Hit the thumbs up button, guys.
Own album in 2005. That was the end of that era. That album's hits, Stay Fly and Poppin' My Collar, were our final salvo during our prime run. We came from Memphis, talking about robbing, killing, and tearing up clubs, and became stars doing it our way. We kept that vibe alive with Chrome. I thought we'd done a good job evolving musically, and it showed when Hypnotized Minds released his Straight to the Pros LP, October 25th, 2005. Chrome was independent, and the music worked in our underground market. Overall, though, our buzz wasn't as strong as it had been during the last decade plus. Music was changing, and the label was trying to get us to go pop. I wasn't comfortable coming from 3 6 Mafia and trying to be pop stars. Moving out of Memphis was also a mistake. 3 6 Mafia was in foreign land, Los Angeles. Without knowing it, DJ Paul and I were losing our ear, our connection to the streets that enabled us to stay on top. Then people started trying to put us with pop producers, telling us how to make songs. Columbia Records put us with a bunch of songwriters and producers, including Dr. Luke. We wanted him to make songs like ours, but the label wanted him to make music similar to what he was doing with Kelly Clarkson and Backstreet Boys. 3 6 Mafia had never had outside songwriters before. We had done everything ourselves. We didn't know how to make things sound right if we weren't producing it.
So this is Juicy J, Chronicles of the Juice Man. Y'all can go ahead and check out the rest of it on Audible. Audible has it. Y'all can check it out. It's a really good book, really good read. Just interesting how these people, how people come from meager beginnings and then they end up blowing up and having a really illustrious career. But dang, he should have stayed with the Rosenthal dude, whatever his name was. He should have stayed with that agent. Homeboy could, if he was Justin Bieber manager or made Justin Bieber big as he is, they should have stayed. Homeboy was about his paper. So if you're not a very aggressive person, you want to hire somebody that is aggressive. Use that talent. It's funny. You would hire you hire people on to work for you to have the talent and the things that you lack. You see that strength in them, and you want to, have that person on your team and pay them for that talent. That's a talent. Being aggressive and going there and tell people what it is and what you're not going for. If you know how to do it a certain way, it's not coming off as threatening. It's coming off as this is what we believe in. This is our product. We believe in it. We're not going to take nothing less. Don't try to shortchange us because we ain't going for it. You need that person. So somebody being kind of meek. Like sometimes I can be kind of meek. Oh no, thank you. I'll take. You want to give me that? Okay, well I'll take that. Whatever you want to give me. Nah, you gotta realize your value, and you gotta have a person on your team that realizes that value. And like, nah, fuck that. Y'all gotta give us this shit. That little, like, don't insult me with that little bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all crazy. That's how you gotta come. You gotta, because people will see you a certain way and think that you're worth this, and they think, well, they're probably worth this, because they don't really, a lot of times they don't realize how big you are, and they think, well, they're big, so we'll give them this. And let's see if they'll take it. If they take it, then it means they'll take anything. So sometimes you gotta be like, man, you know who we are? Like, and then sometimes they're like, oh shit, yeah, you are that. I need to be giving you more. Yeah, give me more. Don't insult me, So then they'll know next time, well, I need to come with at least this. Or they probably gonna want more than, you know what I'm saying? It's an art to that, Anyway, what y'all think about this video, man? Leave your comments. Subscribe. Charles and Ezra, appreciate it.